Welcome back, guys, to Pro League here live in the Next Arena. It's KT Rolster versus CJ Entis right now. KT Rolster off to a great start, 2-0. Flash getting an unexpected win against Hero.
Yeah, a bit of a upset against the beaten down Hero right now after taking that loss from Dream. It seems like his PVT is in the works right now. It was a little bit sloppy, the play that we did see from it. You know, really late forges, kind of uncharacteristically late. His Blink micro was good, his harassment was good, but just not enough units. Flash just played like a greedy machine that he is and had such a supply lead in the mid-game, in the late game.
Hero just kind of seemed lost in that game to me, you know? Like, even the harass was a little bit late. But anyway, enough of that game. We're going to jump into predictions for this one. Only one person goes for Zest. It's Kanata. We were talking about his risky predictions so far, but he got Flash right.
He got Flash right, but he's still a risky biscuit in my eyes, Valdez.
He is. He definitely is. And this one as well, a bit of a risky pick. ByuL, I think the favorite here against Zest. Definitely looking a bit stronger these days overall.
Yeah, he's looking fantastic against Protoss. You know, he did get beaten down by his teammate Hero in Casper Cup, but besides that, oh sorry, I'm talking about Zest. Actually, I'm thinking about ByuL right now, but we'll talk about Zest first. Zest, you know, he has been playing well recently. He survived the GSL qualifier. He's back in GSL finally.
Yeah.
But he did lose to Lucera on the way, which is a bit of a surprise.
And it was a 2-0 at that. And those qualifiers, let me tell you, are extremely scary. They make you really nervous. It's hard to play to your full potential, but still, Lucera to take down Zest twice in a row really says a lot about where Zest's PvZ is right now, especially on a Zerg favor map.
Yeah, so it doesn't bode well for today, but no doubt he has a plan if he is going to be on Expedition Lost.
That's for sure.
And here's ByuL recently defeating Parting 3-2 in the Codex of GSL. So that is a pretty huge win in itself. So not the best games from either player, I gotta say. Hopefully today is going to be a little bit better from ByuL. Besides that, ByuL also defeated Hero in GSL, that match before then.
It seems like after ByuL took that 0-3 to Classic, I think that was the round of 8, right, of the SSL.
Yeah.
He kind of went back and studied his ZVP because taking out Hero in a 2-0 and then parting in a 3-2 are two pretty big results.
Definitely says a lot. It like really revamped his ZVP styles. He also took a big hit. Actually, that must have been the one against Classic. So, completely lost my train of thought, Valdez. But
you're fine. You're fine, Wingblade.
We're going to see what he's got planned here today. If he's going to go for any sort of shenanigans, or he's going to go for that goal-based style that we do see ByuL do a lot.
Yeah. I think both these players could have a tricky biscuit up their sleeve. Let's see who wants to pull it out. Who's going to take a big bite out of that biscuit tonight? Will it be Zest or will it be ByuL? Going into Game 3, if Zest wins this one, K2 will take a 3-0 and be in a great position going into the playoffs, whereas CJ will be in a terrible one. Another thing to think about going into this one, but let's jump into the game right now. It's going to be on Expedition Lost. Down here in the bottom left, in the red, our KT Rolster player, it is Zest.
Chiseled biscuit. Up here in the top right, we do have the Zerg player from CJ. It is ByuL.
The mechanics outfit there, the new CJ Entis uniform.
Yeah, I don't mind it at all. It's like a bit of a bib sort of style. It's like you're wearing a little bit
bib style.
A little bib, in my opinion. You think?
I suppose. A little bit. It's kind of a weird bib, though. It goes over your shoulders.
Well, man, you could be swinging your head left and right while you eat. I don't know.
I suppose. If you're a baby.
Strokes, man. Like,
is that what you used to do, Minglade, when you were a baby?
Yeah,
you used
man.
to just like swing around like a dragon?
I chewed my mouth like a... going from going left to right. You know, I got a big neck workout.
Yeah. I want to see pictures from when you were a baby, Minglade. Well, I want to see what you looked like.
Did you see that picture of me, Valdez, with Wheatbix when I was like 10 years old?
No, I missed that one.
I'll show you
I got to see that, actually. Did you post that on Twitter?
No, never mind. We'll talk about that later. I should post on Twitter just to be like, I love Wheatbix, and I have all my life.
I'm very excited to see that picture now.
Oh, here we go. Anyway, Valdez. So you're going to see an early drone scout. He's going to scout the forge, see if he throws down a, it's actually a really nice angle because it's going to get in there. Quite possibly throw down a proxy hatchery. Got to be careful though. Probe's going to see this. Might change his build a bit, and it will. Here we go. Oh. Interesting. I'm not sure if that's a good idea.
No, I don't see this working out at all. Wow. He's finally going to pull a drone.
Well, this just means he can't have this base. Like,
yeah, I suppose he's going to cancel it here.
This is actually the weirdest decision making I've seen yet from ByuL.
I think he's just got to cancel it.
I think he's going to have to cancel it.
Yeah, maybe he's going to force Zest to make a bunch of buildings here.
Cancel it and take the natural base.
Yeah. But at the same time, that hatchery is going to be very late. But Zest, committing a bunch to that. He's already got his probe in position. I think Zest has realized that he's not going for that base now. So
yeah, he's going to scout the main as well and be like, oh, you don't even have a spawning pool yet. So you're clearly going for a hatchery elsewhere. And he's going to check the natural. So I think he will get away with another cannon there.
It's better to just throw down your Nexus here. You've already forced the Zerg to cancel out. That natural hatchery now is going to be a bit later.
And you know what? This is not a bad play from ByuL. This is very smart. Forcing out a lot of minerals, 350 to be exact, in the middle of the map, delaying the Nexus and all that. Well, you simply just decide not to take it and go for a normal base play.
I'm also going to go for a very fast third hatchery there over to the left side at the same time. Zest does get the scout. We'll see if he wants to punish that in a bit. But at the same time, his tech is going to be a bit later because he did commit to that forge first. Gateway going to be very late here. Only going to finish up in a bit now.
I think it's going to progress into a very standard game from here. Maybe that forge fast expand against triple hatchery. One of them was a hatch first into a pool, then a later hatch. So normal game. Let's see what Zest wants to do after this day, because I still think Zest has a pretty big game plan for this kind of map. I'd be surprised if he simply plays very straight up. We have seen, if Protoss can get there into the mid game, you'd see a lot of effective sort of Stalker Sentry play on this map as well. And I'm just not sure, Valdez. I don't know if it's going to be enough.
Yeah.
I mean, it is also very hard for Zerg in the late game on this kind of map as well, because there's a lot of choke points. Force fields are very efficient on this map.
Yeah, even rocks that you can break down to force the Zerg into a kind of weird position. We saw when this map was actually added to the pool here for Pro League, I think it was round 2, or maybe round 1. But a lot of Protosses just came out here and used that very popular Sentry Stalker composition and just wrecked a bunch of Zergs on this map.
Yeah, that was hot stuff back then as well. We saw that just about every single game. We still see it a lot of games, but Zergs are expecting it a lot more often these days.
Yeah. And it also seems like Protosses are waiting a bit before going for that push. They get a bunch more tech out, add a bunch of Archons, even Storm into the mix, get a lot of High Templar into the unit mix before they go for that attack. Also, Immortals are pretty popular for your unit mix these days. We see the robotics facility come down.
Yeah. You know what? I just want to see Protoss play like classic plays this matchup, because I think it's insane how good he plays this, because he's just so defensive. He goes to the late game, and he makes his army that Zerg just cannot deal with. And I think it's such a smart way of playing this current meta, the way the game is currently. But judging by what we see from Zest right now, looks like he might be going for something a little different here.
Could be a bit aggressive behind this. He's going to have 4 gates. He takes a later 4th gas. Warp Prism play, okay.
Actually bringing some sentries out into the middle of the map as well, as we see a pylon out there. Still, with that cannon. He can offensively warp in from there if he wants to.
Definitely can. Let's see if he can pull off this Warp Prism drop, though. You think he'll go for the ramp?
I think it's kind of looking that way.
I suppose he could just go maybe for the 3rd base, try to get some drone kills, get some force fields down.
Yeah, well, he's not going to put his sentries inside it. Dude, this is interesting.
I think that Overlord saw it. If he was paying attention, I'm not sure. He wasn't moving the Overlord specifically at that moment in time.
I think we'd see a swell of lanes if he did see for sure. There are none just yet. Seems as some Zealots walked in, actually.
I think ByuL is kind of confused at this moment in time. He's finally making some units, but then he pumps some more drones too, just 3. He's kind of going halfway here. We're going to finally see this drop come down. He's going to go straight for the third base, going after that queen. Now going for the spine crawler. And here come the Warpins.
He's going to do a bit of damage for sure. These are +1 Zealots, but Roaches come out just in time.
Where are the sentries, though? Looks like he just kept us at home.
Yeah, it looks like it. Just doing some harass where he can. Buy some time for this DT Shrine to finish. Dark Shrine. And I guess he's going to keep harassing like this while he eventually goes for that big Blink Stalker Sentry style.
Oh, he doesn't see the Dark Shrine.
No, just off.
Let's see if he decides to be safe here. I don't think we've seen any Spore Crawlers now. And look at this. Zest is stopped at 44 probes for now. He's getting +2 plus blank, and he's getting 4 extra gateways.
I'm getting the impression he's going to simply go this harassment into DTs into Blink Stalker timing attack with +2. There's 4 gateways on the way as well. You know, he's going up to about 8 gates.
Yeah.
It's kind of fitting out perfectly together. Do a lot of work.
We see 4 DTs warped in. Maybe he'll go for a hatchery snipe even.
Definitely a hatchery snipe. There's no reason not to at this point. Still, looks like he's going to go for the drones to start things off.
He's going to get 4 to start things off and immediately get to work on that hatchery. There's no Spore and only an Overseer morphing in now.
Oh, this is insane. This is way too much damage. He's going down for sure. He's going to get away with the DTs as well. He can even get the eggs if he wants to stop these Hydras coming out. And that would be a sick play.
And look at this. A bit of a drop coming into the main. 1 DT is warped in. But there is an Overseer. So we'll be fine to save his Dark Templar there.
This 4 DT is going to look to do some work in the middle of the map as well.
And look at this. After this, he just decides to put down that Nexus. Dark Templar getting more and more damage in the middle of the map. Do you think he's going to commit to that Nexus? He's making no more probes to saturate the base.
It feels like it's an empty Nexus, but it can still be utilized if he needs it to. So this is great. The Link scouts that he sees, oh, okay, you're going for a third base. Maybe even pushing ByuL's hand right now. But the army of ByuL is so weak. You know, it's like 5 Roaches and a bunch of Hydras. It's not going to get anything done on the map. If it tries to attack, it's going to get shut down completely. He's in a bad place right now.
Yeah. This Drought isn't going to find much damage at all. Just roaming around, he's going to see there's no third base just yet. And now going for a Hallucination Scout.
Oh, looking to intercept the War Prison.
Phoenix now going to scout the main.
The only other thing that would be amazing right now is if Zest started adding in Immortals. I think that would be the next step to awesomeness in this kind of army.
Yeah, we
Immortals
see so many Roaches are being pumped right now.
Ooh.
And he's got the robotics facility. He's just not making use of it right now.
Just really relying on a lot of Stalkers so far. I almost think there's not enough sentries either, right? Because that's 4 sentries. If you had like 8 sentries or 10, like it just becomes that much easier to fight Hydras, because it's the one thing that makes, you know, Blink Stalker Sentry so powerful is these force fields can even take apart Hydralisks.
Yeah. It almost seems to me like he's going to go for one big fight, or maybe just try to control the ramp for now. Not really commit to many sentries, just try to get a very strong army out instead. And just try to play defensive, you know? If ByuL ever wants to attack, he's got so many chokes, like you were talking about before, that he can just force field off with those 4 sentries. And instead just commit to a ton of Stalkers here. Oh, man. 4 Dark Templar into the main.
Gonna go for the lair for a second there. Oh, man.
Rocks have been, rather the ice has been broken down here at the back door of Zest.
Oh, beautiful force field.
That's so many Hydras.
That ruins everything. Wow, so many Hydras going down. That is so expensive.
Wow.
And I think, yeah, ByuL just actually turns around. He's like, well, there goes half my Hydras. I guess I have to go home now.
There's no way you can commit to that. ByuL is essentially being forced to play a late game here against Protoss. Zest is playing this so annoyingly well. You know what I mean, Boozlane?
I love the way you say that, Valdez. And look at this. More harassment. And Immortals finally on the way, as well as +3.
Yeah. It seems like Zest is kind of just taking a page out of Classic's book where he's like, I'm never going to attack you.
Yeah.
It's never going to happen. Sorry, ByuL.
Like, I actually don't have to do anything because you're still on tier 2. I scouted your lair, I harassed it, I killed one of your bases earlier, so everything is kind of progressing a lot slower. I can take my time at this, but this is going to be one hell of a concave.
This is a huge move by ByuL. No force fields on that ramp. We're going to see the Photon Overcharge come down. Really nice force fields, though, to zone out the entire Zerg army. Going to take down only 4 or 5 probes, but that's about it. And more force fields coming down.
Oh, look at that. It's like water on rush. These roaches aren't going to get anything done whatsoever.
Yeah. Units trying to come from behind. They get taken out. Those Stalkers on +2 attack right now. The hatchery at the gold is going to go down to the very, very nice DT harass. And the Protoss has just got so much stuff now. He doesn't even have to blink. Immediate GG. ByuL knows the game is over. And that's going to be it. Zest takes the game.
KT 3-0ing this. Very surprised. Zest is playing such a fantastic game. Just that defensive style. He knew he was under no pressure whatsoever because there was no hive on the way. There's no Vipers, there's no Blinding Cloud. It was simply going to be a Roach Hydra attack.
Yeah.
All he has to do was wait in force field.
And I think a bit of a mistake from ByuL not to recognize what kind of play that Zest was going for. He never transitioned. He's like, okay, I just got to kill you. He even attacked right before his +2 came out. I sense a bit of frustration in the play of ByuL there.
Yeah, he's been getting angry lately. I've noticed it too in his play. Like, he's been GGing quickly. He's been like very frustrated against Protoss specifically, especially after that games against Classic. I got the feel for that.
Yeah. It's never a place you want to be in as a pro gamer. You always want to play it out. You always want to kind of just push those frustrating thoughts out of your mind and just play your game and just try to win the game no matter what, regardless of balance or whatever you're thinking in your mind. But sometimes it's very hard, and we're seeing ByuL having some trouble with it right now. So Zest, he does his job. There you go, 3-0 for KT.
3-0 for KT, something they needed pretty badly, and CJ must actually be in a bit of trouble now, Valdez. They must have to win in their last round, last week.
This is going to put them at 2-4 with a -4.
Oh, man.
And so they're going to need some teams to lose, namely Spenu and MVP. And they're going to have to win their games, their last game, rather. I don't actually know who they're going up against in their last game, but that's a very interesting one.
Spenny's playing SKT, MVP's playing KT.
Oh, CJ is playing against Prime. That's huge for them. If they can take a 3-0, it puts them in the best spot possible.
Wow. So they have to get a 3-0 next week, and they have to do it.
Yeah, pretty much.
Today's results, 3-0 for KT. Stats, Flash and Zest doing it. Flash and Zest, bit of an upset here. Hero and ByuL just not playing up to snuff. Their matchup's looking a little weak, specifically in those ones.
Yeah, not performing today. And, man, just like I said before, Zest, that was so annoying to watch. Like, even from a Protoss perspective, he was just way too defensive, and he was just getting away with it. It was so hard for ByuL to deal with.
I love that SimCity at the top of that backdoor ramp. You know, there's 3 gateways and like 3 cannons behind it.
There's no way ByuL is ever getting up that ramp in a million years.
He played it perfectly. It was definitely an impressive